I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Schmack 'em a gob, it's time for the only news that matters. And Neil Peart's brother, Danny Peart, died of a rare and aggressive type of brain cancer on Thursday, March 13th. His death came just over 4 years after the loss of the Rush drummer, who also succumbed to the same type of brain cancer in January 2020. Neil and Danny's sister, Nancy Peart Burkholder, confirmed Danny's passing in a post in the Peart Family Event Facebook page. She wrote in part about her brother. She said, "On this dreary Sunday, it is with great sadness that we share that this past Thursday evening, we lost our third Peart man and second brother, Danny, after his year-and-a-half battle with the brain cancer. Danny shared our amazing Peart traits that all of our men carried, a true gentleman with a kind heart and a generous spirit. We will be planting a tree at Lakeside Park besides our father's tree and Neil's pavilion, and we'll have a new award starting at this year's golf tournament for sportsmanship, and this was his true self. It is ironic that his golf team has repeatedly come in second place." Danny Peart was born in Portland, Ontario, Canada. He later moved to Vancouver, where he lived with his wife, Janet Lindley, and their two sons, Max and Nick. He has worked as a Globe and Mall paperboy, a bartender, a farm equipment part manager, and a personal trainer. Danny Peart was an accomplished writer and a member of the League of Canadian Poets. He studied writing with renowned authors such as Gloria Swanee and Ernest Hemingway, and published two notable collections: Stark Naked in a Laundromat from 2016 with a foreword by Neil Peart, and Another Mountain to Climb. He also wrote two other books: Ruined by Love, which contained 37 poems about family and friendship, and Not Quite So Handsome, also a collection of poems. During an October 2023 appearance on the Something for Nothing, a Rush podcast, Danny Peart stated about Neil, he said, "The nice thing about it is that he will be remembered. He was the type of artist that was so singular and so talented and so hardworking. So he's going to be remembered as one of the top 10 live drummers ever." He's up there with me, man. Bill Ward, Dave Lombardo, Neil Peart, my top three. They'll argue about his place, but you and I will be so happy we saw Neil Peart play live. We saw him solo, and we've never seen anything like that before. That is the truth. Also, he'll be remembered certainly as a rock drummer. I hope he'll be remembered as a writer. Almost all of his books are still in print, and so I think he's got a legacy there, especially with Ghost Rider, Travelers of the Healing Road. I think that it is a wonderful type of book to give somebody that needs healing after losing somebody. I think he'll be remembered certainly by his friends. And I think, I don't know, time will tell, but all of us, when we write, when you're a musician, all of us are trying to last. We'd like to be remembered that we did make a difference, that we showed up and gave it our best shot. And certainly Neil, you can see the legacy since people heard that Neil had died. His legacy has been so huge. We are overwhelmed by how much people cared. Neil Peart died on January 7, 2020, after a 3-year battle with brain cancer. He was 67 years old. Rush waited 3 days to announce PEART's passing, setting off shockwaves as an outpouring of grief from fans and musicians all over the world. This brain cancer is called glioblastoma, kills more than 10,000 Americans a year, according to the National Brain Tumor Society. It is the same disease that killed Senator John McCain and Edward Kennedy, and the son of U.S. President Joe Biden, Bill Biden. This brain cancer, also known as GBM, has no known cure. According to People magazine, standard treatment involves surgery to remove the tumor, if possible, followed by radiation and chemotherapy. The disease is considered a highly tumor in the central nervous system because its cells reproduce extremely quickly. Those who have been diagnosed with this brain cancer have a median survival rate of about 15 to 14.5 months. PEART, considered one of rock's drummers of all time, along with John Bonham, Ringo Starr, Keith Moon, Ginger Baker, and Stuart Copeland of the Police. All right, there you go, man. Man, how sad. He died of the same type of cancer. Poor guy, man. Rest in peace, Danny Peart and his great drummer, Neil Peart. I miss Neil so much. You know, I miss no new Rush music, you know. I knew it. You know, I flew to New Orleans on that Rush 40 tour where they were saying, you know, this might be our last. And knowing how Rush was, I thought, this band's not going to go back on their word. It's just not possible. I know every band does, but not Rush, man. So I flew to New Orleans to see it, and there you go. If Neil was alive today, you think they would have kept going? I don't think so. I know many of you might think that, but I don't think so. Maybe they'd play a show here and there with Neil, but, you know, not no tour. Neil was done with it. Maybe something around where he lives. I think he lived up in Canada. Do a Canadian date here and there, but no more tours. That's what I thought. And look, you know, he ended up dying before, you know. And the weird thing is, on social media, I wrote the morning that Neil died, before we all knew he died. I wrote in the morning that Rush is never coming back. I said that. And they didn't even announce it as a farewell tour. You know, they said, hey, this may be it. And Rush is one of those bands, they don't need to spin that farewell tour crap because they're going to fill up wherever the hell they play. I'm telling you, man, every time I've seen Rush play, it's always been a full house. So they didn't have to play that stupid card because they didn't need to get extra asses in the seats, you know? But, you know, I'm a big Rush fan. I've seen them so many times. I saw the Moving Pictures tour twice. I saw Signal. I saw... then I didn't see them for a while till Test for Echoes. No, Counterparts, Test for Echoes. Then I saw every tour after that. Even the Time Machine tour and all that, man. So, yeah, I've seen Rush a bunch of times. And I'm so glad I did, you know. I'm glad I took that trip to New Orleans because that was an amazing show, man. So, yeah, this is very, very sad news. Hate hearing about Neil's brother. That died of the same type of brain cancer. So yeah, rest in peace, Danny Peart. And what do you all think, man? Isn't this such sad news? You know, leave it in the comments below how you feel about this. I feel horrible, man. You know, he suffered the same fate as his brother. Very sad, but yeah, leave it in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching The Only News That Matters. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't and ring that little notification bell. I totally would appreciate that. And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath and schmack 'em a cob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies. Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.